Hi, this is PiiDii. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this video, we're talking about emotional cheating. And this is the first part of a four-part series. We'll be talking now about what emotional cheating is. Emotional cheating is when you betray your partner's trust in a non-sexual manner, which means you didn't have sex, but you still betrayed their trust. It means that you approved and you did something that your partner would not approve of, and you did it in a secretive way, in a way that your partner would not know. You're cheating emotionally when you're doing stuff that you're hiding from your partner. You're doing stuff that you can't afford to let your partner know, because if they did, they'd be upset because it's not part of the agreement. Emotional cheating is when you're breaking the agreement you have with your partner in a secretive kind of way, and you're trying your best not to let them know. Like, actually right now there's a big thing about, phones being locked, not locked. At the end of the day, if you are struggling to password your phone on your spouse and you're upset that they're looking at your phone, the issue there is that there's something in your phone you're hiding. There's something you're doing that you don't want them to know, and that's why you fast-forwarded your phone and you don't want them to get into it. So you're cheating emotionally already. There's no point even say, well, you know what, I'm not cheating. You're already cheating emotionally if you have stuff in your phone that you can't afford for your spouse to see. It's just very simple. I'm sure if we take this rule and measure it out and judge people, a lot of people will be guilty. And not just men, there are women who don't want their husbands looking at their phones, because there's a thing out there that men don't want their wives looking at their phone. But there are many women as well who would not want their husbands to look at their phone, because if the husband saw what's going on in their phone, there'd be trouble. So this issue of emotional cheating is something that we've really got to educate everybody that it's as bad as physical sexual cheating. You cheating emotionally is just as bad as taking off your clothes and having sex with somebody that's not your wife. So it's not a gray area. It's something that you shouldn't be doing. You should not be considering. The truth is that all sexual cheating started with emotional cheating. And that's the truth, except it's a prostitute. You just don't find a woman and just jump on her and start to have sex with her. If we take out the issue of prostitution, generally you would talk to this person, you would pursue them, you would do a lot of things, buy them gifts, you will take them out, you do many things, but you're doing it secretively. You're doing it without the knowledge of your spouse, or you're going out and you're meeting with him and you're doing whatever with them without the knowledge of your spouse. That in itself is emotional cheating, even before you got into the sex. And to be quite frank, anytime there's actual cheating, there was emotional cheating before. So why don't we just stop the emotional cheating and stay out of cheating totally? And to be quite frank, once you have crossed the line with a person in your mind emotionally, it's very easy to cross it physically. And that's the truth, because most times the person that you cheated with, in your mind, you had done it in your mind. You had already cheated emotionally before you now cross that line and you did it physically. So let's start to be very aware of what emotional cheating is and to stay out of that zone. We really need to stay out of that zone. Emotional cheating weakens your relationship. It weakens your marriage. It's not something you play around with. Many people, especially men, no, everybody actually, to be quite frank, we think, well, there's no harm done. I was just being nice to this person. We just did this. I didn't hurt anybody. But no, you're hurting somebody. And one thing we've got to understand about emotional cheating is this: the pain you cause your partner when they finally find out, which they will if you continue to do it. It's a lot. It's a lot of pain. You've got to think about this. I love this person enough to marry them. I don't want to be the source of this level of pain to them. And when you start to cheat emotionally, you will cause them pain. You'll cause them heart-wrenching pain. And you don't want to be that person. But that's who you are, because too many times I see people say, well, I didn't hurt anybody. We're just talking. We just had dinner. We just jumped in the bed. I didn't hurt anybody. But you're hurting people. You're hurting people that are close to you, and you really want to not do that. Emotional cheating is forming a strong bond with a person that's not your spouse. A very strong bond, an intimate bond with somebody that's not your spouse. There are times when you start telling somebody information that should only be shared between you and your spouse. you're already cheating emotionally, because that's just unfaithful to your spouse. That this person on the outside knows this much about your finances and your struggles. I mean, sometimes I see where people start to confide in somebody outside. No, confide in your spouse. Talk to your spouse. And also, I'll tell you, if you are the spouse, make yourself easy to talk to. Make your responses when you hear from your spouse not so dramatic that it stops them from talking to you further. But sometimes we tend to train our spouses to respond badly towards us just by the way we respond to them. So like, you have a husband who tells you what's going on in his life, but then you're just judgmental and you're dramatic and you make a big fuss. And after a while he says, well, you know what, it doesn't make sense telling these things to my wife. Then after a while, there's a need to talk to somebody. The next thing, there's some very understanding lady at work who is always available to listen and comfort, who is so empathetic and everything. And next thing, you start talking to that lady. Now, that's emotional cheating. But then, the wife had a hand in causing it. So let's be just careful the way we respond. If our spouses are talking to us about difficult things or just sensitive things, let's be very comforting, let's be empathetic, and let's just make it easy for them to talk to us. And let's be an encouragement to them and a comfort to them as well. Very, very important. We've come to the end of this video. And part 2 will be about warning signs that you or your spouse are about to engage in emotional cheating.